Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the GVGCast, where we hang out, chat with all of you, and see what's been happening over the past week. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined by my good friend and GVG co-founder, John Cartwright. How's your week been, man?
Been pretty good. Just making sure, can you hear us? It's always good that you can hear us before we start talking.
That is a good point. Can everybody hear us? Can we be heard? I'm
not seeing anyone
attempting.
Yep, they can hear it. They can hear me. Hopefully they hear you too.
Okay, I can hear everybody. I was double checking all this. I actually spent like a good hour and a half prepping for this so that we were all set. But yes, we're doing an early show because Ash is off to, I don't even know where. He's basically going to a trans festival with his wife, which they do every year. So always want to do that. Let's see. Brandon is working hard. Steve is working hard. And Daniel is is a little under the weather. So we're just giving him some
busy
rest.
Time. I've had a bit of a strange week. I've been pretty much a single dad this week because my partner had to go and see some family, very unplanned. And so I was left with Amelia, and trying to work with a child on your own is very tough. I'm sure you know, but for the entire week, I've never done that before. I've had like a day to myself maybe, but never the whole week.
Oh my!
I don't know how people manage their lifetimes like that, but it was tough. I got some work done though, and I'm back on track again. Yesterday, I went to the Pokémon Company International to celebrate the launch of Scarlet and Violet. And they made us make sandwiches blindfolded because, of course, like sandwich making is a thing in that game.
Right.
So they thought, let's make a whole event about it. So they put a blindfold on me, put a bunch of ingredients on a plate, and we had to open up the sandwich and drop the ingredients on without looking. Mine didn't go well. A few people made some surprisingly good sandwiches.
Oh, really? Okay.
A big burst of ingredients. Tasted all right though.
I mean, the ingredients are fine. They're just the stacking is a little off. That's all.
I don't make the best sandwiches when I'm not blindfolded.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah. But they also had these big old mascot costumes for the starter Pokemon, and it wasn't like a big group. So I think they hired some,
intern.
Is that professional? Or do they just get Pokemon Company people to dress up, or do you hire people for that? I don't know.
I don't know. I've never had that experience before. The one time I've dressed in costume for anything was when I was working at a grocery store and they had a Santa thing and they were just like, we don't have a Santa. So, hey, do you want to just dress up as Santa and delight the kids? And I'm like, all right. And just had this crappy costume, but you're like, try to get into it.
You were Santa one year.
I was Santa one year. I was a grocery store Santa, trying to talk as little as possible because I knew my voice was like, I was still young at the time. Yeah. I did not have the age of a seasoned Santa. Now my uncle, he actually does go around. He's not even a mall Santa. He's just I think he just makes appearances or just shows up like maybe charity type things, but he has the ability to grow the full beard and look like a classic Santa. He always looks pretty good. I'm impressed that he can pull off just that pure white, have the beard and all that stuff. So
that's impressive. I've never known anyone to actually grow the Santa beard. It's always just a fake, stick on the beard.
No, he full on has it. So it's pretty impressive. I gotta ask though, how, because single dad, did you have Amelia dropped off somewhere? Or did you have Amelia with you while you were at the Pokemon event?
So I had her dropped off. I brought her home a goodie bag because they gave us like some plushies, like a Sparagito plushie. But yeah, I had her at nursery that day. But the way we have it set up basically is Thursday and Friday every week she goes to nursery, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday she stays home with Roxy because she doesn't work those days. But obviously with Roxy not being there, that made it a bit tougher. So it's really only one day that I didn't quite have Amelia, but otherwise it was a juggle. Yeah, and I was at the mercy of the trains because if they were delayed, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to pick her up from nursery.
Oh no!
Yeah, but it worked out in the end.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a good time. I've not done like events in a long time because of COVID, obviously, and because we're not like journalists anymore. We're just we do our own things. It was nice to be invited, but I've been playing Pokemon Violet a little bit. I've not got deep into it, But I'm having a pretty good time. Though, of course, I have seen all of the performance issues that are going on.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
into that a little
we'll
bit
get to
later.
that. Yeah, but the game seems fun enough. I think if it depends how much you can tolerate the performance. I think, but at least from the beginning, I'm having a pretty good time.
I also wonder how much people are attempting to break the game. But again, we'll get into that. Before we get too far, though, we do have a sponsor for this episode, as always, by the wonderful Game Orb. The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. While games like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu can be seen on the channel along with others, the Game Orb will also be adding Splatoon 3, Super Mario Sunshine, and Fall Guys to the gaming collection. So be sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description. And we don't have Ash here to pin this. I gotta do this myself, I think. Uh-oh. Ash, I need you. I'm just going to post, and I think I just click on it, and there it is, pin message. There it is.
Yay.
All done. And
did we make Balan Wonderworld the game for this stream? Because it's on our page.
Is it? I didn't actually choose anything. I might have just detected Balan Wonderworld in the title and decided to do that. And actually, just to show how much I upgraded for this whole thing, to just make sure that we are that I spent the time to make sure we're good to go, because Steve's not going to be able to host to run the GVGcast for a bit. His computer kind of died, so that's not good. I got promoter pets, so there we go. We got promoter pets down there. Hopefully they're sized correctly, but we got our pets down there. Check out those little dogs as part of the promote a pet tier. And I made it a point to get these lovely pets ready to go. The sizing I think is a little weird because we typically have a 4-man show. It's a little bit more room because we got to squish each other together, but with 2 of us we're a little bit bigger. So yeah.
Firecraft says, why isn't it called Balan Wonderland? When it was first announced, I could have sworn it was called Balan Wonderland.
I know,
but
right?
I think that's just a bit like, I don't know what the word is for that, but I don't think it ever was, but it seems like it always was.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I said it for the longest time as well, but because Wonderland makes more sense. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. As for my weeks are always kind of a blur, like what I've been up to. I guess the big thing is, as part of our last subathon for patrons, we unlocked that whole thing with us doing Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. So I've been playing through Oracle of Seasons and getting a lesson in old school Zelda. It's been a while, and I've had some interesting moments where I feel like I am just, am I dumb? Am I dumb that I'm not figuring this, or am I just not thinking ahead? I don't know, but there should be some interesting videos. I don't know if we're going to be able to get those out before Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving, or not.
We'll see. So we've got is that like a week? That's on.
That'll be next week. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm 4 dungeons down, and it's always tough to just find that extra time.
We'll try our best. Yeah, we can see if we can do it. But you've been playing Oracle of Seasons. I've been playing Ages. And it's cool. This is your first time playing these games. I've
Correct.
played a bit, and I've played them a long time ago. We're talking like 7 years ago. I liked them then, but it's been a long time. And with Zelda, if it's ever been a while since I've played one, I kind of start to downplay it in my mind a bit. Like, or maybe it's not as great as you remember it being. And then I go back and play them. It's like, oh no, these are still great. But with the Oracles, I think that they're better than I remember in a lot of regards. Because I know you haven't been the largest fan of Link's Awakening. Like, you enjoy it, but it's not the same caliber as it's often heralded to.
No.
In your regard,
Not even close.
Whereas, like, you're seeing a lot of ways in which you prefer the Oracles over Link's Awakening.
Yeah, it honestly should be pretty interesting, and I guess, I'm looking forward to doing those videos because nobody really talks about Oracles.
No. Yeah, it's a weird spot, isn't it? Because they were late Game Boy Color games. They were both released on the same day. Maybe people just didn't bother with them, but I think they probably are 2 of the least played games in the series.
Yeah, I think so, but yeah, we'll see how that all goes as we go there. I've been playing a little bit. I played a little bit of Sonic Frontiers.
Right.
I'm still not done with the first world, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done with that first island. So that's how much progress I've been making. So
Cool. Well, I finished Frontiers, and I want to start preparing the video for that soon. So we're going to do another deep dive, like Sonic Forces, but probably going further into it. So I think that either that or the Oracles will be this week. We'll see. We'll see how our progress goes, but one of those will be coming this coming week.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got thoughts. Like it's great, I think, but it's also sometimes not so great. But for the most part, I really do like the game. I just think it's one of those games where it has a lot of shortcomings, but they don't detract from my overall impression, really. Even though some things are like fundamental flaws, though.
Right. I can see that. Hopefully, this is something they iterate upon instead of just, we're tossing this out and trying something new.
Yeah,
Totally.
totally.
That's what we really need to see, because there's something to build off of from here. It feels like, even just from this.
Yeah.
I've not played as much as other people, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm basically going to be doing the same thing as that you're doing for Sonic Frontiers, with Pokemon Violet. So I got Violet. I have not opened it yet. It's my treat for beating Oracle and getting Oracle done. Then I'm going to move on to that. So we'll see how it all fleshes out. But I'm going to just take my time and see what it's all about, and then do a sort of deep dive into what works, what doesn't. Might feel a little, I don't know. Maybe people won't care by the time I get to it, but worth a shot.
It's nice to take your time. As a fan, I think a lot of fans appreciate games more than... Like, if you spend a few days to review a game, we're not appreciating it on every possible way that we can. Whereas if you digest the game for a while, you fully understand, you've played everything you can do, I think you get this new kind of respect for it. So I prefer doing these deep dives, just regular reviews.
Yeah, I think the two of us are kind of getting away from regular reviews, just mainly because we don't get early copies anymore. So what's the point? So I'm treating this as like sort of like my Donkey Kong Land video, where just take a look. What it's all about. Give me time. So, and then again, I guess might as well put out all of what I'm doing, but basically going to do the Tier Ring Saga video that was also unlocked as part of that whole deal with the patron drive. And then I think it's time to get to another retrospective. It's been a while.
It's coming.
It's coming.
I love that Isaac's in the chat says, hot take, Derek will enjoy the Oracles more than Scarlet and Violet. Probably.
Maybe. I mean, Zelda's always pretty solid, so.
Yeah.
Well,
we had a bunch of super chats.
We did. Let's scroll up and actually see those, because they've rolled in, and we really do appreciate those. First up is Jaden Buck with $5 saying, "Crazy Question Fridays, crazy question number 59. I'm thinking of writing a goodbye Twitter song. What do you think I should title it?" So long and thanks for all the fish, except with a P.
Yeah, that tops anything I can come up with.
I don't know why that came to my mind. I don't know.
All right. That's a nice quick one.
I don't know. I to be honest, I've not gotten fished a lot on Twitter, but maybe other people have.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
We also have that Dion Hugh with $10. They missed their message, but there's another one just down here that says, "Can't wait to hear the Game Award nominees' thoughts. I also hope that, for a Game Awards prediction discussion, I wish Kirby was nominated for more categories. What games do you think got snubbed?" So we are going to talk about the Game Award nominees in the news section. But I do wish Kirby had more of an appreciation, because Forgotten Land was an awesome game. Maybe it doesn't have that sort of recency bias where you kind of forget about it after a while. But, in that moment, I loved Forgotten Land. I do think, Live Alive definitely deserved more than it got.
I'm surprised. I haven't. I'll be honest. I'll be taking a look at a lot of the lineups. But did Pokemon Legends get any nominees? Because I feel like that should have got recognized in some way.
I don't know if it did. Maybe it was like an RPG nomination, but I don't think
so. Did it even get Family Game?
Oh, it did get nominated for Best Role-Playing Game. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It did not get nominated for Best Family Game.
Okay, too hard. A lot of big things that people are mentioning here is Sonic Frontiers for best music, which does seem like a massive shame.
Snub. Yeah, there's a ton of great tracks in there.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be getting into that as well later on. As for us doing a predictions discussion, we weren't sure to do it, whether we should do it like right as they announced or right before the show aired. So I don't know. We might have missed our opportunity.
Do it. I'd say we'll record it for our patrons probably maybe the first week of December and then go live, later to the time. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's see. Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy with $9.99. Thank you so much. Says GeForce Demise, Helena Taylor making false statements regarding her wage, Mick Gordon's response to id Software, and Marty Stratton's abuse, and Yuji Naka's arrest. One more and I'll have a bingo. My God.
Yeah, hell of a year.
Yeah, that is quite the thing. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, I know.
We'll be getting to Naka soon.
Yeah, it's been relentless. Just one thing after another.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, gosh. Aramis with $50. Thank you so much for that always very generous donation.
So generous, yeah.
Hey, GVG crew, new Pokemon release. That is all. Enjoy the cast. Though I did hear about Naka. It's so strange. Don't really know what to think. I'll be honest, when I saw this, I kind of laughed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I wasn't even surprised.
No, I wasn't either.
Sounds right.
That's the thing. I'm not surprised by this. If I could recommend something, a video to check out, I forget what he's exactly called, but there's a video that the Golden Bolt did covering Sega and a lot of the Sonic Team stuff. I think it was like towards the end of like how the Dreamcast died or something like that. I forget the exact topic, but it shouldn't be too hard to find on the Golden Bolt's channel. And Yuji Naka does not seem like a great guy.
Yeah, I remember when the Golden Bolt did that video, there were a few comments being like, I don't know about this. There's no real solid base for these Naka claims. But then more and more's come out recently. He's been more in the public eye. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't either. Speaking of Squire in the live audience saying Sonic's creator, that's Naoto Oshima. Yeah, after Naka left Square Enix because of the whole Balan Wonderworld thing, Naoto Oshima did not support him, so he cut him out of the old school picture celebrating Sonic.
Weird.
He's so petty, and that's the
cutting
big
out
thing.
an X from your picture. It's so strange.
Yeah, he comes across as extremely petty, and yeah.
We also have the actual Shigeru Miyamoto who gave us a super chat.
Thank you.
Is that 20?
Happy 70th. I think it's 20 Norwegian krone.
Oh, yeah, happy 70th, Miyamoto.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to jail anytime soon. Let's hope not.
Yeah. Keep your nose clean, Miyamoto.
Be a good boy. Yeah. Derek Clay with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Says the launch date of Scarlet and Violet is unacceptable. Hardware isn't to blame. Sword, Shield, and Legends Arceus were at least functional, stable games. Yeah. I feel like we need to get to these topics soon because they are chomping at the bit. But we'll
talk about those.
Let's see. There's only 2 more super chats. We'll just do those right now, and then we'll cover any more after the news. First up, Hustle Bun with $10 saying, shout out to the music in Sonic Frontiers, trance EDM for cyberspace, down tempo for fishing, post-hardcore metalcore with Sleeping with the Silence for the epic boss fights. Loving the blend of tunes. I'm looking forward to getting to the boss themes and whatnot. I haven't fished or anything like that, but I've loved the cyberspace music.
Yeah, it's just cool. Sonic's exploring different genres. For a while it was just kind of like indie rock, and now it's just going everywhere, and it rocks everything. There's rarely been a bad Sonic soundtrack, apart from Summer Forces.
Yeah, and the Sonic Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
And finally, Aflac McQuack with $5. Thank you so much, saying, hey, GVG, sorry I can't make it live, but I thought I'd say hey. Also, what were your thoughts on Wakanda Forever if you've seen it? See you for now. Did you see it yet, John?
I want to, but it's tough to get a babysitter. I might have to wait until Disney Plus at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, I have not caught up with a Marvel movie since Shang-Chi. I am very far behind on my Marvel watch, but I've heard Wakanda Forever is good, handles the events as well as it could possibly do, and we'll just see how it goes from there. Yeah, I don't go to movies much.
It's tough. It's tough to find the time when you've got little babies. I've watched every Marvel thing since then. I've enjoyed some of it. Other parts feel like they're chasing their tail a lot. I'm not sure much has really progressed. Like we've had, I'm going to say like we've had like maybe like 18 movies and TV shows since Endgame, and I don't know if much has really happened in that time.
It's more just setting up the next generation from what I've seen.
Yeah, but
So,
it's been fun.
that's good. That's good. All right. Well, let's get to the news, and let's get the big one right off the bat. Yuji Naka arrested. Why was he arrested? Because some people did not hear about this. For insider trading. So basically, what happened is that while he was at Square Enix, he and two other employees came into knowledge that there was going to be a different studio handling a mobile Dragon Quest title, Dragon Quest Tact. That studio was iMing, and knowing this, the fact that mobile development studio was quite small, they bought a lot of shares, knowing that it would probably rise up, considering it's Japan, mobile gaming, and Dragon Quest. So the two others, as part of this, who are identified as Taisuke Sasaki and Fumiaki Suzuki, acquired around 47 million yen, or roughly $336,000 of shares before the announcement of the game's development. And Yuji Naka did the same. Not quite as much. He only purchased 2.8 million yen, or around $20,000 worth of shares. But the three of them, because they knew about the upcoming thing, that's some insider trading. They were caught, and now they're in trouble. They've all been arrested.
When I saw this headline, my heart skipped a beat because I saw Yuji, I saw Dragon Quest, and I saw arrested. I was like, not Yuji Horii, no!
He's supposed to be one of the good ones.
Yeah, I can't say I'm that surprised because Yuji Naka's had a lot of strange things happening lately. This is just bizarre. He's arrested. We don't quite know what the prosecution's going to be like, but bizarre, utterly bizarre.
If Ace Attorney's anything to go by, then it's not looking good for him, because prosecution usually wins in Japan, if memory serves correctly.
Well, just happy Yuji Horii is in.
We're still safe with Yuji Horii. That's all. That's all good.
We still have Horii.
But yeah, it's. What do you say about this? It's just so wild and weird.
Gregster says sentenced to prison for 10 years due to making Balan.
He got off light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's just.
I don't think there's much to say really here. We don't often hear about game developers getting arrested.
No, and it's certainly not for insider trading. I mean, it's as white collar crime as you can get, but hope that granted, he got $20,000 worth in shares. It increases pretty massively. He can get a huge payout. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe he could have funded his next game.
Yeah, it's weird because he more or less retired, from my understanding. I know he was making a mobile game recently, and I think he more or less said that was going to be like his last one. He has a legacy behind him, though. I know his reputation isn't great at the moment, but he co-created Sonic. He's got stuff like Ivy the Kiwi and all these other sort of lower key games.
But also Knights and Phantasy Star. Like, he's been part of a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great developer, maybe not so great manager, I think is the big thing. Yeah. So
I mean, we know that the whole Sonic Extreme story, like they couldn't lend the engine internally to make that game.
Yeah, he refused to lend the engine that they used for Nights into Dreams for the Sonic Extreme team, because I think he had something against the American side of Sonic Team.
Yeah. I saw a Rodea the Sky Soldier shout out in live audience. Who said that? Let me catch it real
Betty
quick.
Nom's Bunsies.
Because Rodea is a good game. It came out on Wii U. It was originally a Wii game, but for some reason, the 3DS and Wii U port were like complete remakes, and they were worse. They were way worse.
Oh.
But if you get the Wii U version, which comes with the Wii original that was never released, that Wii version is genuinely a good game.
Yeah, I saw it because I knew they were always doing like bundle packs of like get the Wii version and you also have the Wii version. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a reversible cover with the Wii skins. You can just pretend it's a Wii game. Just ignore the Wii U version.
Perfect. So yeah, I don't know if we'll be hearing from Yuji Naka much in the future. No, I mean, I don't think he's going to be fair, I don't think he's going to go in jail for that long. I don't know how severe these type of crimes are, but I can't imagine more than 2 years. But I think his reputation might be in trouble at that point, but who knows?
It was just talking about a prison sentence for Yuji Naka. Like, what? Well, what is this? What's happened?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. The other bit of news that everybody definitely has on their mind is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have been released, and it's got some tech issues. The reviews out right now are very commonly saying there is probably the best Pokemon game in a while. Definitely evolves the series, but the tech issues are really holding it back. You have to look underneath all those problems to see these great elements to it, and I've seen everything from Pokemon disappearing to major graphical glitches to the Pokemon that you're actually riding on being being invisible. So you're actually just riding around in the air. It's kind of hilarious.
There's a lot of bizarre stuff, a lot of clipping through the ground and just falling into a void. Like, there's some very weird stuff in there. Like, if you read through the reviews and just sort of ignore the scores, because there's lots of like 7 out of 10s. But if you read the text, a lot of reviewers were saying, like as you said, it's one of the most enjoyable Pokemon games they've played in a while. And I've not been able to play much myself yet. I've played through the intro, and there's still a lot more to play. But I think it does feel fun. It definitely feels, it's good to have a proper multiplayer Pokemon game where you can explore together. There's good aspects to this, but the performance is a deal breaker clearly for a lot of people. I've not seen the worst of it yet. Hopefully I don't experience the worst of it. But I've seen, and we've all seen it. We've all seen how bad it can be. I'm sure most of us have seen the clips where you're like throwing a Pokeball, the whole world stutters, everything pops into existence, everything freezes for a moment. There's some really bad stuff in there. Brandon was showing us an example he had earlier, where he evolved his Marill, and instead of there being like just a little transition screen, there were 2 Marills on the screen, and the camera just shifted to the other one. So it didn't like replace the model. It had 2 Marill models.
Yeah, it's certainly something. I don't know. I'm just bewildered by this, but I also I was there for Sonic Boom and everybody's saying how broken it was. And the thing is, Sonic Boom is extremely easy to break and have all those type of glitches. But if you don't attempt it, and when I played Sonic Boom for review, I didn't attempt to break it at all. I was just playing normally, and I barely came into issues. It's just an incredibly boring game. But you have to go out of your way to do those issues. So I'm wondering if there's some of that. I've also heard I've seen Joe Merrick of Cerebi posit that it might be a memory leak issue that they're just trying to figure out. I don't know.
It shouldn't have launched this way. I think that's very fair to say. I think the problem is Pokemon has never been technically advanced, but it's never been broken like this. We can complain about Legends Arceus textures, we can complain about the Wild Area and Sword and Shield, but they've been stable games. I think the only instance of them not really being stable is X and Y. X and Y is multi-person battles and having 3D on, but otherwise, Pokemon's never a poorly ran game. No. It's definitely not great. It's never been like a juggernaut in visuals, but it's never ran like this before.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think, but really not. It's always, as you said, it's never been technically amazing, or anything like that. Like, Iwata famously had to come in to help optimize and fix things in order to get the game running at any kind of standard back in the day for the original gens, and with Gen 2. So I don't know. It's an odd thing, but it's also Pokemon. But it also feels like, I believe it's been confirmed that they're still running off the Sun and Moon engine.
I think that's right. So I don't know the specifics entirely, but I think you can tell. I think they've just sort of been gradually improving their tech without rebuilding it. That's the problem. I think is they have this very old tech that they've like crammed into an open world environment. They're getting as much as they can out of it, but it clearly originates from 3DS, which jump from 3DS to Switch is massive. They clearly need a completely new groundwork for what they're doing.
I really think that once because I assume Monolith is helping out with Tears of the Kingdom, having that open world. I think Monolith needs to have a team go over to Game Freak and like, okay, let's get you solid and ready to go for open world if this is the way you're going to go. Because I feel like they could really find a way to just make that work. Monolith Soft helping to make this stable and work and get these models going and the environments. Yes, please. That would look fantastic.
I guess the problem is they just don't stop, though, right? I mean, they're always making the next Pokemon game. Like, when's the time to make an engine? I think that there just needs to be another studio doing that. It's not like a Pokemon game's made in a year, right? I've seen that consensus sometimes. Like, Arceus came out in January, and now we've already got another one. They've been working on Scarlet and Violet for like 3 years, maybe 4 years. There's always teams rotating about who's in development, and that's why sometimes we get advanced features, sometimes we don't have advanced features, sometimes we lose features because they're always working on different games. Which isn't an excuse. I think they should always have parity in games. But I think that's just why we don't get these advancements, because they just never stop. It's always straight on to the next thing. Even if it does take years to make, they're always just making a game. What I think they should do is just hire another studio to just make an engine. Like while they're finishing their work on this engine and just making their game, just have someone else just setting the groundwork for the next one.
Yeah, I think that's might be the best way to go for it. I don't know. Because obviously they have to keep to a tight schedule because of the anime, but even the anime hasn't fully finished their current arc yet. They're not onto the stuff that adapts Scarlet and Violet. So they had time, and just I guess they wanted to hit that November release. But I'm pretty sure I think Legends proved Pokemon's going to do well no matter what. That said, the pre-orders of Scarlet and Violet were apparently even larger than Animal Crossing New Horizons, which was the previous record holder.
That's the biggest success in Japan ever, New Horizons, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mayo Sama says not Ilka. That's right. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl ran on Unity rather than the usual engine. That's also not a great example for success, though, is it?
No. I don't know what happened there, because I mean, I've not tried the One Piece Odyssey. Apparently Steve tried it at PAX and wasn't impressed, but from the trailers I've seen, One Piece Odyssey looks pretty good and a major step up from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and that's still Studio Ilka as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there.
Games, like, as long as it's a good One Piece game, it doesn't have to be like a brilliant, overall video game, but as long as it's a good One Piece game, I think as a fan that has its merits.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't do any firsthand experience on this one yet. I haven't tried it. We'll see. I'm sure they're going to be finding ways to try to patch this or try to get it more stable.
I will say my one pet peeve with the criticism about this is like, oh, we need a Switch Pro, we need the successor. We don't need that. No, that is not the problem here.
Yeah. I've been playing Xenoblade 3. My God.
Yeah, we forget what Switch can do sometimes. I mean, even Breath of the Wild was. It's not like, if you look at like the textures individually, Breath of the Wild is not like a juggernaut, but it's a very beautiful, cohesive open world. Whereas Scarlet and Violet, like, clearly there's more going on. Like there's all these Pokemon they have to make and anime and everything, but it doesn't look as good. It simply doesn't. Switch can do more than this. It can. We don't need Switch Pro for this. No.
So, well, we'll see what happens, but, buckle up for some Pokemon, the Pokemon discourse. So, which that's always fun. I'm so glad I'm not day and date with Pokemon anymore. I can step back.
It's nice not to care as much.
Yes, it is. How Joe does it, I have no idea.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
must be tiring.
the last bit of news, because there really wasn't that much news this week. It's kind of a slow week, honestly. But we did get our list of the nominees for the Game Awards. And our Game of the Year nominees include Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, A Plague Tale Requiem, and then I think the two wild cards that people weren't really expecting, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Stray.
Yeah.
So
Stray's the wild card. Xenoblade, I didn't expect to get nominated, but I think like if you go through the releases this year, it is one of the more impressive ones.
I
Stray,
agree.
though, Stray, I don't know where that one came from because it had a lot of buzz when it came out. Clearly, it did. It's a cat
Yeah.
game. Of course, people are going to love it. But I played
People
it.
also
I liked it.
stopped talking about it after a while. Like it did not stay in the
Yeah,
public mind that much, as far as I could tell. Um,
yeah.
I
I thought it was good. I
yeah.
enjoyed it. I didn't think like this is game of the year though. But that said, I am always happy when there's an indie game nominated. Because if you look at all these nominees, most of them are iterative AAA sequels, right?
Yeah.
Like Xenoblade 3, I think it's a great game, but it's also another Xenoblade. God of War Ragnarok and Horizon, they are literally another Horizon, another God of
I
War.
mean, I
El-
think the same is said for Plague Tale. I think the only one that's kind of original is Elden Ring, and even that's just kind of
Even
iterative.
that's just Dark Souls open world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being very like dismissive of all these games. They were great, but they're not brand new ideas. Whereas Stray is something that no other game is doing. I think that maybe does merit it for being a rightful nominee.
Yeah. Maybe. I've not played. Honest, of all these games nominated, I've only half played through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, so I don't really have a, you know, a, I don't have horse in this race, I guess is the best way to put it.
Mm.
But yeah,
I'm
there
not
it
sure
is.
who I'm wanting to win really, because I think I've got to replay Elden Ring because I remember when I played that, I thought to myself, "This is another Breath of the Wild moment. This is one of my favorite games ever." But I've not come back to it recently, so I don't know if that was just a reactionary thought or not. But I'll replay it before the awards and see where I'm actually resting on that. But yeah, right now it's between Elden Ring and Xenoblade for me.
Okay. I honestly I think it's as far as what's actually going to win, it's going to be between Elden Ring and God of War. I'm gonna I'm gonna say God of War is probably going to get it, with Elden Ring getting Best RPG,
Yeah, that's probably right.
just because
Although
so
Elden
Elden Ring
Ring
gets something.
Elden Ring did have a very big buzz, though.
Yeah, it did.
It's, again, with these awards, recency does usually have a sway on it. I know there's exceptions like Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year in 2017, but like it's critics voting, and maybe some will reflect properly on the year, but people will have just played God of War. That's gonna be really fresh in their minds.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, Anything else stand out to you about these nominations? Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few snubs. Like Live Alive should have won, should be nominated for more than it was. Was it
yeah.
nominated for anything?
Uh,
RPG maybe?
Maybe RPG. I also it probably should have got Best Art Direction as well. Like I'm looking
It
here.
absolutely should have got best art direction. What are the nominees for art direction?
Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Scorn, and Stray.
Yeah, those wouldn't be my choices.
No, I mean I can believe Elden Ring, God of War, maybe Horizon, maybe Scorn. I can definitely see because it's just so Geiger-esque. But
This is a weird complaint, but I find Horizon looks so full that I find it hard to focus on Horizon style sometimes. I don't know if it's always cohesively put together. And it's clearly beautiful. I don't think it always looks like it draws the focus in the right places. Here's a weird one though. For best fighting game,
oh yeah,
Sifu was
see, it's
nominated.
not a fighting game.
No, it's a beat 'em up.
What are they okay? Because that is not.
Yeah, I mean, how would you define a fighting game? Like, I think
a two,
competitive one-on-one fighting.
yeah, exactly. And that's all the other ones.
Yeah,
Um, there had to be something other than seafood to nominate there.
yeah. I never really jive with the best family game category. I don't know what that even really means. I
who
mean,
knows?
just like bright and family friendly. Like that's not a genre. But we've got like Kirby, Mario and Rabbids, Switch Sports, Splatoon. Basically, the Nintendo games are the family.
Right.
Category.
This is your Nintendo leaf branch or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need. I'd like for them to get rid of the family categories. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Also, I've not heard of this game, Immortality. What is that? Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it. I forget what it is though. Let's quickly do a little search. I feel like we've seen this like a trailer for it at some point, but I can't remember that well.
Oh, okay. I don't know much. For indie, we got Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic.
Okay.
I mean, theoretically, Stray would get nominated would be the winner since it got nominated for Game of the Year. So it technically would be the best indie, but that's what it is. Oh, apparently, Immortality is an FMV game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's two things I want to bring attention to. Best adaptation, we got Arcane, Cyberpunk, Cuphead, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. What are you doing here, Uncharted?
I was either that or Halo, and they had just like, well, I guess it's a little bit better.
Do the Sonic comics count as adaptations, or are they just thinking movies and TV shows?
I guess just movies and TV shows, because Jeff Keighley,
he loves his TV shows.
Oh yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
I haven't watched Arcane yet. I know I should. I heard a lot of good things about it.
I have too.
You're not giving it a shot. But I guess by default, Sonic 2 would be my pick for that. But I think I've got to watch Arcane though.
Yeah, I've heard good things about both Cyberpunk and Arcane, but yeah.
Yeah, and Nibble was nominated for
Content
Nibble.
Creator
of the Year.
Good on you. Of course, as soon as he left.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people are like, oh, does he make content? But Nibble was the backbone of the entire video game news scene. If you go on anyone, any big news outlet, they rely on Nibble. They sourced him so much. He absolutely did a ton. I don't question this choice.
No, not at all. Nice to see Shredder's Revenge get a few nominations: Best Action Game and Best Multiplayer. Though it's a bit odd to see Triangle Strategy get nominated for Best Role Playing, but not Best Strategy.
What? What? Okay, that is confusing. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some choices. They could have made some room for Triangle Strategy in the strategy section.
You would think so.
Yeah. Got like June, Victoria 3, 2 Point Campus. Like you probably could have squeezed it in there.
I know there's also some debate about Hogwarts Legacy getting nominated for most anticipated.
Okay. I mean, PlayStation have put it in their showcase a bunch. It's hard to gauge what most anticipated means. Like how do you quantify that?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's
well, we'll see if it wins, then we can't doubt them.
Oh yeah, of course not. Oh boy, honestly, looking over it seems like a fine set. Obviously, there's gonna be snubs here and there, but I don't see anything that makes me go like, I don't think you're right.
Yeah, they're generally fine.
It's your typical Game Awards type thing.
Don't take it too seriously, really. I mean,
no.
It's everything's our own personal opinion. If you think something is Game of the Year, then you think something's Game of the Year.
Exactly, and most of this, like, it's not like they care about the awards either. It's just like, here's this, and this that won these things. By the way, here's 6 trailers for what's coming up, with no fanfare over this whole thing. It's whatever. Either way, that is the Game Awards. We might have a more in-depth discussion about what we think about that in the future, but yeah. Oh yeah, Betty Nam's Bunsies in the live audience. That's a damn good point. Street Fighter 6 is not in the most anticipated.
Yeah, that's not right.
What the hell?
Yeah, that is not right. Let's read out the nominations. So there's Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and Tears of the Kingdom. You could have absolutely put Street Fighter 6 in there.
Yeah. Easily.
I'm not even. There's no bias here. I would have taken off Hogwarts Legacy for Street Fighter. That has so much anticipation.
Especially the way it turned around. Oh, Vedron Silk Song. Maybe if we have a release date, that would be on there. I don't think we have a release date for that.
Maybe, yeah.
Although I guess Starfield could also slip because who knows with Bethesda.
Yeah.
So.
We did have a bunch of super chats that we've sort of skimmed over.
Yes, I was going to get to those before we got to our patron topics.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where did we leave off? We have, Kevin Online. Yes, with $9.99. Thank you so much. Says, I've been trying to catch a live show forever but work. Just popping in to give good vibes. My girlfriend and I just moved in together a month ago and she came with cats. I've always wanted a cat. Well, that just sounds like a plus all around.
Yeah, you're a cat dad now.
Yeah, cat dad. Congrats. And thank you for being able to join. Bongo Lover with $5 Canadian saying, bad news, guys. DFT's, Danimal Fun Treats, are no longer in production because my partner, Mr. Naka, has been a bad boy. Now I got to help him escape the city. Yeah. Good luck with
Imagining Naka running away from that truck now.
Yeah.
We also got Jacob Tucker with $5. Hey, John and Derek. Tuning into today's podcast for a quick drawing before I depart for Phoenix tonight. Have an awesome week, you guys. Thanks so much, Jacob.
That should be fun. Enjoy Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's definitely warmer than where I'm at right now. It's getting cold.
Pretty cold over here.
Yeah.
Britanniac with $2. Who gives the best cut? Patrons or super chats? Oh, sorry, Patreon or super chats? I don't actually know what the best cut is.
I think it's Patreon, but I know Patreon takes its own cut.
Patreon. I think Patreon over YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't keep track of that. It's just like, well, thank you for coming in and just sort of get what we get.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it all the same, though.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
But I think Patreon tends to give a better cut. We also got Colin with $6.99 Canadian dollars. I was a teenage exocolonist. Is deserving games.
Is deserving.
Oh, sorry, that's a title. So I thought you were describing yourself.
No, I think that's a game title.
Yeah. I haven't heard of this game. But yeah, that's deserving. The games for an Impact nomination. They left me feeling anxious for days. Worth playing, but mind the trigger warnings.
Oh, jeez.
I've not heard of this. Yeah, I was reading Colin's answer like that was their experience. My bad.
Yeah, you were an eco-colonist? Wow.
Yeah, that's why I was slipping up there.
All right.
We also got Cutie Caitlin with $5 saying Jeff and the jury were moved to tears by the Papa John's fight scene in Uncharted. Pure art delivered in 30 minutes or less.
Was there a Papa John's fight scene? I've not seen the movie. Are you kidding me?
I have seen the movie, and all I remember is this scene where like they have like pirate ships suspended in the air and they're fighting on like flying pirate ships. That's all I remember.
What the hell? I mean, it's Uncharted, so it's not like that outlandish, but
yeah.
Now I'm just imagining Papa John's is sort of like the weird restaurant of the movie, kind of like Sonic has Olive Garden.
That's what Hasselbun just said in live audience.
Yeah.
I think we have one more, which is Joel Lockie with £5 saying, just finished the Wii U retrospective. What a blast from the past. Thanks for the awesome discussion. That's a really fun one to do, yeah.
I missed out on that one. I forget what else I was doing, but the timing didn't quite work out that I could join it. But
I think you were doing 8-bits at the time.
Oh, yes, I was trying to get 8-bits all set, which you should go watch.
Yeah. Yes.
And then before we get to our patron topics, we did get one more super chat from Playlog for $10. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Critter here. I believe that's Critter XD, one of our patrons. Finally watching this live for once and wanted to say you guys rock hawk. Also, I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving next week or just a great week in general if you don't celebrate. Well, thank you. Really do appreciate that. I probably won't be here next week. Ash might. I don't know. I don't know what's going on for next week, honestly.
I think Ash said that he will be around on Friday, so he and I might be running the show next week. We'll see who else, but there's no obligation, but we will do something. We'll make something work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, well, we got some Patreon topics here, and well, each of us picked one. John, do you want to go first, or should I?
I can go ahead first,
All
yeah.
right.
So mine is from Da Alpha Lion, who says, by the time you're reading this, the Wii will be turning 16 years old tomorrow. What are some underappreciated first and third-party Wii games you feel deserve more attention? I personally would nominate Mad World, Battalion Wars 2, and We Love Golf. Yeah, the Wii is one of my favorite systems to collect for, because it has this stigma of being a shovelware machine. But if you dive deep into the library, like beyond like Mario Galaxy and Wii Sports, there are so many cool hidden gems on the Wii. And I love that you said We Love Golf, because We Love Golf, because obviously Camelot didn't do a Mario Golf or a Mario Tennis in that era, because Camelot partnered with Capcom to make their own golf game. It's fascinating, because it plays a lot like Mario Golf, but you've got these sort of humans that can wear Capcom clothing. So you can get like a Jill Valentine playing golf, or there's like Ace Attorney golf costumes. It's a wild game, and really cheap as well. So that's a cool shout out. But yeah, the Wii has a lot of cool hidden gems. Xeon and Nintendo Life recently did a video on Silent Hill Shattered Memories, and I forgot how cool that game was. It was a bit divided at the time, but I think now that we've had this big Silent Hill lull, there's more appreciation for it. And just pointing the Wii Remote like a torch, like a flashlight, that always feels good. Fragile Dreams did that as well, which is another really cool game.
I like that the Wii brought back light gun shooters to an effect.
Yeah.
Not all of them are good, but I really do like Umbrella Chronicles and Dark Side Chronicles. I think those were pretty good shooters for Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little
cool
recap.
Stories too.
Yeah.
It just sort of it filled in some gaps, but it also let you just re-experience Resident Evil 1 and 0 and 2 and Code Veronica. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there are a lot of cool light gun games. Like even House of the Dead 2 and 3 got revived because they're stuck on CRTs nowadays.
Yeah.
Also Overkill, and we cannot forget Sin and Punishment 2.
Oh gosh,
which
yeah.
One of the best of the genre.
It's fantastic. I see people mentioning Tatsunoko versus Capcom. I never picked that up. I should have. I really should have, because I doubt that it's ever going to get re-released.
It's probably too complicated. Yeah, we when we did that online Wii games video where we explored the homebrew that's still keeping Wii Online going, I played Tatsunoko versus Capcom with Nerbian, who does a lot of stuff on Twitter. And it's still so good. I think that's one of my favorite Capcom fighters.
Oh,
and I have no like love for Tatsunoko. I don't know much about them. It's just a really well made game.
Nice. One I always point out is Fragile Dreams. That'll never get re-released because it did not do well at all. But I really do enjoy that game. Trying to think of some other like more hidden gems on the Wii that I have here.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to shout out the obvious ones. I mean, even on the lower side of the obvious ones, we got like Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called in the States. We call it Beat the Beat Rhythm Paradise here.
Oh yeah, you know what?
The Rhythm Heaven Fever, is that what it's called there?
I think Rhythm Heaven Fever. You're correct. I was looking over my collection and I just realized that Fortune Street and Duke Upon Kingdom. Wii's the only console we have those on. And Fortune Street has had more games. We need more Fortune Street. Come on.
It had online play before Mario Party, like a decade before Mario Party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a really cool one that you can't buy anymore. My Life as a King, Crystal Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
That was a great WiiWare game. For a while, it was one of my favorite Final Fantasies in general. It's small scale, but it's so cozy and a lot of fun. For sure, recommend it if you can get your hands on it. But of course, you can't buy it from the Wii Shop channel anymore.
Yeah, same with Castlevania Adventure Rebirth, the better adventure game,
and Contra Rebirth as well. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's a lot of cool Wii. I mean, we could do a whole video on this because the Wii's library is way bigger than I think a lot of people think it is. We just think like, it's Wii Sports, it's like carnival games, but no, there's so many cool hidden gems on the Wii.
You can bring it up. I will laugh at one. I don't think it's a great game, but I picked it up just because it amused me. I have the Dragon Quest Swords game, which is an adaptation of like one of those play games where it's just a sword attachment that you swing around.
Yeah. Do you know who did the art for that game?
Who?
It's James Turner of Pokemon fame from Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Really? He emulated Toriyama's style?
Yeah, I think Toriyama must have been involved somewhat, but James Turner was the lead art director for that game.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
very cool. Also, one more shout out: Excitebots. Excitebots. It only came
Oh
to
yeah.
America and Japan.
I
Didn't
only,
come to Europe.
I
But
only
it had
ever
online
got
play.
Excite Truck, and I loved Excite
Yeah,
Truck at launch. I don't know why I didn't pick a Excite Bots. Probably because it looked. I'll be honest, it looked kind of dumb with the
it
bug
does. It definitely looks dumb, but
designs.
it's a lot of fun. But yeah,
So,
Excitebots and Excite Truck are really underrated. I'm not an Excite Bike like mega fan,
no,
but
I'm not either.
I
But
think those two are
Excite
just
Truck was just
so
a
fun.
good time. You actually used the motion controls pretty well. I got into it. Thank God you could use the SD card to put in your own soundtrack because
Yeah,
that the in-game music sucked. But
it did. Yeah,
put in your own stuff, have the song going. Man, it was great.
yeah. Yeah, and Excitebots is just kind of like more of the same, but more zany with proper online play. They're both great games.
Yeah, good
Yeah, but
stuff.
yeah, we can talk about the Wii forever though.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
lot of hidden gems, and I'm sure we'll dive further into them in like a proper video in the future.
that's honestly probably something we should mine at some point because with it being 16 years old, we're getting to that nostalgia season. We might be graduating from
Oh yeah,
GameCube to Wii at some point.
I think so. I think it's probably already happening.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be something. Um, oh, real quick, Monte Cristo Smith, Adventure Rebirth is a remake of Castlevania The Adventure, which is the first Game Boy Castlevania game, and it is the worst Castlevania game, the original. Rebirth is much better, but it also barely follows what the Adventure did. People talk about Castlevania 2 being terrible or Castlevania 64. Those are nothing compared to Castlevania The Adventure, the original.
Mhm.
Ugh.
I
Anyway,
hope Konami just does a Rebirth collection, which is like
oh, that'd
Contra,
be good.
Castlevania. I think there was Xenius as well. I think there's a few other rebirths, but those Contra and Castlevania are the big ones.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, oh, Adventure is still worse than Haunted Castle, Walt Mouse. I will always throw Adventure under the bus every chance I get. Anyway, my question comes from young Ben Kenobi, who said, "Where would you like the Gen 10 Pokemon region to be based on?" I figured, you know what, this being a kind of Pokemon launch, it's a good idea to start talking about the next one because, Gen 6 we had France, Gen 7 we had Hawaii, Gen 8 had the UK, and Gen 9 we have Spain. And I will always say we need Australia, especially with the Pokemon Legends formula now. Because that makes sense. That if everything's trying to kill you in Australia, put the most dangerous Pokemon out there for you to try to deal with in Pokemon Australia.
I'm not ready for a tarantula Pokemon. But that was my primary answer as well. But Australia is just a fascinating place. I'm shocked they haven't done it because
I know.
not only is it a very unique country, but yeah, just the animal variety is unlike anything else in the world. Do
We
we
we need a
do we have a
professor
kangaroo?
based on Steve Irwin.
Yeah. Do we have a kangaroo Pokemon? I can't remember.
Kangaskhan, I think, is the closest we
Oh,
got.
yeah. I guess that. Yeah, I guess it is a
That's
kangaroo.
kind of kangaroo. Oh, Haro, I know Australia. The things aren't that bad. Amy's from Australia, so it's mostly just
Yeah.
the thought about it. Oh yeah, well, Australia and New Zealand. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. New Zealand post game. Yeah.
Yeah.
My immediate answer was Brazil. Um,
Oh, that'd be good too.
that's another just like
Rainforest.
really different one. You can get lots of different types of Pokemon that aren't really found elsewhere in the world. I've seen India thrown around in the comments a bit as well. India
Hmm.
would be fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, it would get some real interesting, like just. I think the locations in that case would be really fascinating. I don't know too much
Yeah.
about the animal variety, but the locations would be really cool.
hmm
Um, I think really any place in Africa would be pretty interesting as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just getting more out there. We've had a lot of very Western
Mm.
countries and Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'd love for there to be something else. Oh, Zeon's in the chat. Hey,
Hey,
Zeon.
Zeon.
He's
How's it going?
says thank you for the shout out for Silent Hill earlier. Everyone go watch that. Zeon made a
Yeah.
really great Shattered Memories video, talking with someone who made the game.
Oh,
So
wow.
he got like some really great insight on the development. it's worth watching. And Xeon replayed both Silent Hill 1 on the PlayStation 1 and the Wii remake Shattered Memories. So there's a lot of really cool content.
I have the original Silent Hill. I've never actually played through it though. I've only played Silent Hill 2.
Oh,
so cool.
Maybe it's the time with the Silent Hill buzz.
Yeah, maybe. Trying to think of like other interesting locations that would be.
What if they went to a different planet? What if you go to Mars?
is this your like a spin-off of your whole Punch Out like in space idea?
Yeah. What if each planet is a town? We're going like Starfield Pokemon. I think Game Freak's up.
We do have a lot of alien Pokemon, so it's not exactly out of the question. Can
you imagine the performance if they're still running on that engine, but they're going to space?
Oh dear. I think I'm trying to think of like other pretty interesting locations. I don't know if they'll ever do China. Maybe they'll do China.
It'd be interesting if they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've there's been a few super chats based the time one fry. It's £2 from Alan Wilkinson, who says Pokemon Gen 10, Japan, but set decades after Red, Blue, and Green. So are you thinking Kanto again, but like way off in the future?
Modern Kanto.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think has any of the regions in Japan that are based on Japan. None of them have been based on Tokyo, have they? Which is kind of interesting because, that's the big center for Japan. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, copy Persona. They invented Shibuya.
Yeah, exactly. Have their own Shibuya.
Yeah,
makes perfect sense. I don't know where I gotta say I would never have. I don't think I've ever would have predicted Spain, but they love that region right around like the UK, Spain, and France. They love that.
Yeah, they've just been looking at that little circle. I guess is Germany next if we're going by that.
We could go Germany, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, but goodness, but yeah. Oh, Kanto has Tokyo. Is that Goldenrod? Is Goldenrod City supposed to be Tokyo?
I don't know.
It's hard. I mean, you couldn't get the scale in the same way.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh. Oh well, but yeah, that's the great thing is that there's still so many animals. All right, Goldenrod is Johto. I mixed it up. Not Cerulean. The other C one, where Erica's based. I think it is. Huh?
Yeah. Celadon,
that's it. Celadon. I think that's like the biggest city one.
Yeah.
Either way, mix them up. But yeah, still a lot of options. Like Pokemon can still go for a while. There's still a lot of animals they haven't adapted and items they haven't adapted yet either.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential. Yeah, Pokemon, it can go forever. There'll still be potential.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just hope that they clean things up next time, though.
Yeah. I gotta hope so. But yeah, that is it for all of our patron topics. We did get a few more super chats from everyone. My gosh, I'm trying to. Oh, okay, we did get quite a few before.
Yeah, there were a couple.
My gosh. Darthus with $5 Canadian saying Sam Riegel mentioned in a podcast that he finished some lines as Phoenix Wright a couple months back. You guys think think this is one of the Capcom leaks? So I'm guessing like Ace Attorney 7, I think is the idea.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
That'd be cool. Or maybe he's in maybe they're making a new Marvel versus Capcom.
That would also
Capcom versus something.
Yeah. I mean, when was Infinite? Was that 2017?
Might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's 5 years ago.
Holy crap!
I think my money is on a new Phoenix Wright, but yeah, it could be versus Capcom.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. We also got $5 from Disney Duncan. He says another thing that came out 10 years ago was the Avengers movie. I'm really excited for the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. Was Avengers 10 years ago?
Was it?
Is that 2020? I guess it. Yeah, I guess it was. 2012.
I guess so. Yeah, or 2012. Yeah.
It feels longer, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. So much time.
They've crammed a lot of movies into that 10-year span.
Yeah, they did. My God. Hyrulean 1000 with €5 saying, long time since I sent a message. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. I finished my first Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Looking forward to Crisis Core. Nice. That ending had to have you pretty confused.
Yeah, I've always wondered about the perspective of playing Remake before the original. As I'm sure a lot of people have.
Oh, I'm sure. And it's just like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but sure. Maybe there's enough cultural osmosis there, like they mostly get it.
Yeah. I think if you've played Remake, I'll definitely urge you to play the original afterwards. I think there's a lot of context and groundwork that you'll appreciate if you do.
Yeah. And and you can still play Crisis Core before that, and then go to it. I think you'll even appreciate even more of what you're seeing there.
Yeah, totally.
So
we also got €5 from Steve, who says, "Hi guys, happy Friday. Love the Wii U video."
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve.
Jared Helder with $5 saying a game award for short games like Academy Award for short films would be great. Stray is a good short game, but can't compare to major releases.
I think I agree. Yeah. If there's a short film category, there's no reason not to have the same for games.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad idea. Stacy UK with 10 pounds. Thank you so much. Saying, hey, hi guys, glad to catch you live before 1 a.m. UK time. I missed the Wii U era. Heard great things about Fortune Street. Wish there was a version on Switch. Me too. There was a PS4 version that came out that combined Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. That would have been wonderful to play, but it did not come to the States. So that sucked.
Fortune Street has a deep history. Like there was a DS game that's pretty much just an adaptation of the Wii game. Like it's another Mario and Dragon Quest crossover, but that was also, it just stayed in Japan.
I don't get it.
No, don't get it.
Disney Duncan with $2 donation. Thank you so much. Saying Sakurai posted a video about his cat. I know, I saw it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a fun video.
That is a cute cat.
Very cute cat. We've read Alan's one. That's about Gen 10 being in Japan. Yeah. And I think there's just two more.
Yes, two more. Rec BCQ with $5 says, I heard someone say Monolith Soft should take a shot at Pokemon. As much as I hate on Game Freak, that sounds awesome. I don't know if they should do it themselves. I think they just make the engine and it's like, here you go.
Yeah, I prefer Monolith Soft keep doing their own thing, but you know they're a big support studio too. They should definitely help out with Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Monolith should take over. I don't think they're quite set for that. But as far as helping him the same way they helped Zelda become open world, that would be good.
I mean, as inept as Game Freak can appear sometimes, there is a lot of work that does go into Pokemon. Like when it goes into juggling how many different variants there are and the design of regions, the design of each Pokemon. It's not a task every developer can do. We saw Ilka struggled in the same way. I don't think just throwing another developer is necessarily the answer. Just giving Game Freak the support, I think, is the route to go.
Yeah, I think so. Hustlebun with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, do you think Pokemon Company will address the performance issues with a statement or promise of future updates? No.
I think they'll do. I think they won't say a thing.
They won't say a thing. They'll just quietly put out updates to maybe try to get it working good again and just not say anything. Because if they acknowledge it, that could be a loss in sales.
I think they're counting their money. They're laughing. They don't care. No, I think they the people who make games, they obviously want to be passionate about what they make. I don't think that they are turning a blind eye necessarily. They probably want it to be as good as we do. Mm-hmm. They're on tight schedules. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of it. But yeah, I don't expect them to say anything.
No, definitely not. And finally, one more super chat from Disney Duncan for another $2. Thank you so much. Saying God of War Ragnarok is probably your game of the year. Nice.
Yeah, cool.
We'll eventually play the original God of War, and then hopefully that as well at some point. Because I enjoyed all the old school God of War games, and this seems like it has at least more thought behind it, or I guess more heart behind it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more heart in there.
Yeah.
With the old God of War, like I liked them. They did like 6 of them in a very quick span.
Yeah,
including the PSP games.
Yeah, I beat all of them, and I wore out by the time of what was it, God of War?
Was it Ascension?
Yeah, Ascension. I was like, I'm like, I don't care. But I played every other one. But I'm like, by Ascension, I was like, I think I'm done. I've seen this all before. So yeah, I think that will cover it for all of our patron topics today. I don't have an outro written down, so we're just going to wing this thing.
Oh, heck.
Oh, heck. I am off script right now, and that's always rough for me. But yes, thank you all so much for joining us. This is always a lot of fun, and really do just appreciate all of you coming here for this early edition of the GVGcast, so we can have John on and just have some fun talking. And of course, we always want to give a big old thanks to our patrons at the producer level. I'm going to put them on screen right now. There they are. There's all of our wonderful producers. Thank you all so much for your continued support and just, allowing us to do what we do here and making it completely possible. Really couldn't happen without all of you. But of course, an extra special thanks to all of our executive producers. And that includes Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Z Patty, Just Brian, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman 23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedron Hotik, Benny Yao, Blind Man, Azran127, Black King, Pagrama, Geller, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Darchie, Becca, Killamox, Eddie B, Jessica Toad, Michael McCall, Nope, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, CPHT, Justin Matthews, Too Much Spaghetti, Bane 400, Ascaron 809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Spicy Otanda, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravalox, Rosa Pardo Bowling, Hey Steve's mom, Mega Amster, Darksteel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Derek, Colin, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Keel, Moon Knight, Brendan Hesse, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Brainchild, the entire state of Wisconsin. Thank you all.
Wow.
Jim Wakeland, Long Boy Shiggy, Andy Mine P, Ad, Kyle the Monarch, Dat Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Jay Brox, Salad Dinner, Blaze Collard, Eric, Turbo, DGC, Cat Edie Person 5, Lady Maxillary, Shadow Rider 755, and Dr. Ryan. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Again, it really does mean a lot. And from our talk at the beginning of the show, you can see that John and I have quite a bit in the wings. So thank you for your patience as we work on that. We're also fathers. So kids take time.
And by the way, Derek was still off script. He memorized that entire patron list.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I've read it a lot and heard Ash read a lot. So yeah, thank you all so much. We should have something next week. Maybe for GVGcast. I won't be here, but maybe something will come up. If not, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And we can see how that all goes. Otherwise, again, just thank you all so much for being here. And if you want to support us further, we have our Patreon over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can become one of our producers, executive producers, have Fight a Founder tiers, ask us questions, or just become part of our wonderful Discord community and chat with each other, which might be a good thing. If we lose Twitter, we'd have a community. So there we go.
Stay with us.
We'll see what happens there. Either way, thank you all so much. John, glad we can have you on again. And I guess we'll see you next time. Till then, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.